What's up, everybody? We're back with the Magic and Andrew MMA betting show, episode 52. We have UFC Orlando, Kevin Holland taking on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in a welterweight fight. But before we get there, as always, going to start off at the bottom of the card, best fight odds order. Estela Nunes, big underdog to Yasmin Jaragui. Magic, as always, kick us off. What do you got on this fight?
Can you say her name again?
No.
It's Jauregui.
How are you?
Like it's a hard J. Hard J would be a cool nickname. Jasmine
Yeah,
Hard J Jauregui. Yeah, I personally think she's the real deal. I know a lot of people are not very high on her. I rewatched the fight against this Brazilian girl, who was quite good, honestly, and didn't grapple as much as I expected. And people were like, "Oh, this was a controversial decision." Or, I think she won every round. On the rewatch, I think she won every round too. And Jauregui is like, I know that she's minus 300 here, but it's probably an honest price. Maybe she should be higher in hindsight after watching the fight because Nunes has like 7-8 minutes of solid work and she's primarily a kickboxer. She mostly kicks, has a good right hand, but she's not really a pocket boxer. Doesn't really come on top on extended exchanges, and Jauregui has very, very good hands. I'm confused about some of the takes. This girl has like real good hands, very well educated and powerful both hands, very good boxer. I think Jauregui can. I mean, I don't expect grappling to happen here, but if it happens, it favors Jauregui, in my opinion, big time. And, and,
That's fine.
and I don't think she needs to grapple to like make her faith big time. After 2 rounds, she's probably going to be putting a lot of pressure on her. I think Jauregui is going to stop her late in the fight. Like Sam Hughes was walking her like a dog. Bro, Jauregui is a much better fighter, and I love Sam Hughes.
Okay, so I don't disagree that I think Yargui. How do you say it? Jargui.
Jauregui.
Jauregui.
Like when you say jamon, you know, ham?
Yeah.
Jauregui.
I don't think Yasmin's a bad fighter or anything. I don't agree with minus 300 here. I feel like skill for skill, they're actually pretty close. I do give Yasmin a little bit of a cardio edge, which is obviously baked into the line. That's why she's favored. But I think in a striking fight, this will be competitive, especially for the first 2 rounds. I like Nunes at plus 280, plus 275. I think maybe like minus 200, probably about right. But Yasmin was going to war with someone who's not as good of a technical striker as Estela Nunes is, and it was like I don't think it was a controversial fight, like you said. I do think it was a close fight, though. I think it could have went either way, and I don't think that Yasmin looked minus 300 in it. That's for sure, and I don't think she will here. So
I mean,
I'm on Nunes. I'm picking Yasmin to win, but I think there's value at plus 280, plus 275 on the dog.
I said controversial because a lot of people were arguing that the other girl won, and I think I think Jauregui clearly won 2 rounds, and there was like a 50-50 round. And I rewatched the fight, and I thought the same. I don't really get where they are coming from.
Yeah, I definitely didn't think it was a robbery. I thought it was a pretty close fight that could have gone either way.
Also, that girl that fought Jauregui would beat the shit out of Nunes.
No.
Yeah, she would.
No.
But Nunes round 3 against Sampage, she was a carcass. Like she was a carcass. She doesn't have good cardio. I think she may be too big for the division.
Okay, anyway, what do you got for Francis Marshall versus Marcelo Rojo? I could just feel a square take coming on here.
Yeah, you know, one of us is going to lose on Saturday, which is sad. the way this podcast episode is going. Be careful, I'm on a very, very good like streak.
Okay.
I think Marshall should be a way bigger favorite. And I know this is a controversial opinion because a lot of people are liking Rojo here. I'm a big fan of Rojo because he sucks at MMA, has lost 2 fights in the UFC, and has somehow convinced everyone that he's good. What is he exactly good at? Apart from taking a beating? Like, this is an honest question.
Is that a serious question?
Yeah, what is he good at? I have known him forever because, like, he's Latino. People here in the media are, like, giving him clout, whatever. He was in combate. Every time he faces someone good, he loses. Like, he gets finished. He cannot grapple. He has, like, 7 minutes of cardio. He's, like, the most hittable fighter in the history of South America. I don't get it.
I mean, his UFC fights are against Kyler. Like, again, I don't think he's a world beater or anything, but his UFC fights are against Kyler Phillips and Charles Jourdain, both of which are much better strikers than Francis Marshall. And I don't even think Francis Marshall's bad. I mean, I bet him on Contender Series like -105 against someone who drives a taxi in his spare time instead of fighting. And yeah, that was a good bet against the taxi driver, but he's fighting someone who's a better striker than him, who's fought better competition than him. And I get it. Marshall could mix in some takedowns maybe, but his top control did not look good on the Contender Series. The cab driver got up multiple times. Rojo against Kyler
The
Phillips.
cab driver was an ex-marine. You may want to start respecting people here.
You get what I'm saying. He's just not a pro fighter, or not a UFC caliber fighter. And
neither is Rojo.
He is, though. I mean, he fought Kyler Phillips, who's a top 20 guy, top 25 guy.
Yeah, he's also a bantamweight.
Yeah, Marshall's maybe a little bigger, like I guess. But outside of that, I mean, he's going to take Rojo down and hold him down. And Kyler Phillips shot eight takedowns on Marcelo Rojo. He got 3 of them, and he controlled them for like 2 minutes.
Like, the only thing I don't like about Francis the Fire Marshall, horrible nickname, is that he's a little bit hittable. Like, his striking defense needs to get cleaned a little bit. And against Rojo, he may have to survive a couple scares because of that. But I don't care if you are Francis Marshall or Floyd Mayweather. If you stay enough time in the pocket, you're going to get hit. And this guy was hitting the other guy like every 2 seconds with the right hand clean. And he's much bigger than Rojo. I'm not sure if you realize this is a featherweight. This guy is a big featherweight. He's bigger than Conor McGregor. Like, to make an image. I mean, he has all the grappling upside. Rojo is hittable, gets scared. I mean, I think Marshall is going to beat the shit out of him. And I think if he gets on top or on the back, it's all Marshall. So yeah, I parlayed Marshall.
Marshall's only 1 inch taller than Rojo, just for the record. His arms are 1 inch longer. Just saying.
Yeah, but he's a featherweight.
He's a little bit bigger.
He reminds me of a young Alex the Great. We may have something here.
Costa in there.
Bro, he's like jacked, big, long. Rojo makes bantamweight. I don't know. I think he's going to get ragdolled.
Yeah, I mean, we're clearly on different sides.
I also play Doesn't Go. Doesn't Go is solid.
I like the over 1.5. I think all the finishing upside is.
You think Rojo can take like 7 minutes and a half?
I think all the early finishing upside is Rojo. I don't think Marshall's finishing him at all.
That's a crazy take.
Maybe we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I watched Rojo fight guys way better than Francis Marshall. Francis Marshall couldn't even finish his dinner, bro. He was fighting a guy on the Contender Series who Marcelo Rojo would be -400.
Oh, Marcelo Rojo is 3-4 in his last 7. And
yeah,
he got finished in all his losses by great fighters like John Castañeda, Levi Marroquin, and then Charles Jourdain. Okay, that was like a good showing in a loss, but Jourdain can make a fight close with a I don't know, with a fruit seller. You know what I mean? Like, every fight he makes close, gets scared. It's Charles Jourdain.
Okay, so look at the people who have beaten Rojo. Which one of them, like, would Francis Marshall beat any of them? I don't think so.
Bro, the Francis Marshall disrespect is insane.
I bet him in his last fight. It's not like it's not like I think he sucks. I just think this is a huge step.
Yeah, bro. I think he will beat Levi Marroquin. I think he will beat John Castañeda. I think he will beat all of them. Like, he's so much bigger. Like, and if Kyler Phillips had grappled heavy, he would have rolled in that fight. But Kyler Phillips is notoriously an idiot.
That's probably the craziest comment I've ever gotten on here. Anyway, next fight, Genaro Valdez taking on Natan Levy. Any bets here?
Please tell me you didn't bet Genaro Valdez of all people.
Dude, I've been thinking about it. I didn't, but I'm thinking about it.
I would beat this guy. Like, in an honest fight.
I don't know about that one.
He's the worst fighter I have ever seen in the UFC. And in his contenders fight, he fought what maybe the worst undefeated fighter I have ever seen in my life. That I was joking before, but I actually think I could beat Patrick White, his contenders opponent. That was fucking insanity. And he almost lost. Like, what the fuck?
Dude, listen to this. I bet Valdez at like -375. He closed -1400.
Bro,
and I sat there like sweating my ass
off. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? This is the worst fighter in history, and he's like raw dogging him.
That's crazy, dude. That was like actually like the scariest moment of my life.
Yeah, I think I didn't really want to do it because it's kind of a close line, but Levi or Levi or whatever his name is, no disrespect, I don't know how to say it. It's Levi, right?
I think it's
Levi, I
Levy.
don't know. The Jewish guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
he has a massive grappling advantage, but against Mike Breeden, he apparently forgot. But I don't know. Valdez is just so wild that this is going to turn into. I mean, if he doesn't grapple, it's going to be a brawl where Valdez probably dies anyway because he's horrible. Like, he's fucking horrible. But he hits hard, so I don't know. I have a little bit of Levy by submission plus 200, not big, and doesn't go the distance in a parlay. Like Valdez really doesn't go over 1.5.
This guy's on fire with the comments
So
today.
yeah, that doesn't go look solid. It's a little bit juicy, but Valdez is just like he doesn't have a brain.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was huge on the under. I smashed that at like minus 145, minus 150. I think that may be the best spot on the card. Like, how does this fight go past 12 and a half minutes? Like, in what scenario? Maybe
Division 1 Valdez.
what's that?
Division 1 Valdez.
This one Valdez, yeah, maybe. Like,
Get 17 takedowns.
I think they're gonna bang it out on the feet. Like, Valdez just forces fights. I think he's only been over
I
one.
think Valdez is going to get cracked and Levy is going to roll an arm triangle choke or something. Yeah. I don't expect Levy to proactively grapple because he's stupid, but I hope he does.
If he does, don't you think he'll probably finish Valdez on the mat?
Yeah, like easily. He has no grappling whatsoever. I may actually go back after the pod and watch the Patrick White fight because that was top entertainment.
Yeah, that was one of the sweatiest bets I ever made in my life. No exaggeration. But yeah, I love the under here. I'm picking Levy to win. But man, I'm a little tempted on Valdez. I think the line could be a tad wide. I'm just saying.
I want you to bet Valdez, honestly. Like I bet Levy by submission, and if you bet Valdez, I will be rooting for Valdez on God.
I love that. Maybe we'll see how far the line. Excuse me. We'll see how far the line gets blown out by Saturday. Next up, Amanda Hebos taking on Tracy Cortez. Line sitting about a pick 'em. Who do you got in this one?
The comments are top tier today.
Yeah, this is one of our best comments ever.
This is kind of an awkward booking because Rivas. I mean, I know you bet Chukagian and scored it for Chukagian, and you are like a huge Chukagian stan. She's your favorite fighter, but Rivas won that fight. Okay, if we are being honest, Rivas won that fight. I guess the UFC is trying to make a hottest fight here or whatever, or try to move Cortez up. She's not hot. She's not even good looking, but for some reason, people pretend she's a supermodel. Rivas is much more attractive for what it's worth, in my opinion. I mean, she doesn't look like a fucking monkfish. Awkward fight, but like Cortez obviously needs to be on top. Probably can get takedowns and is bigger, which is my biggest concern for Rivas here is that Valdez is not Valdez, Cortez, fucking Valdez. Cortez is bigger. Like there is a Fajitsu way to a win here for Valdez, for Cortez, not Valdez. You know what I mean? Maybe she can get on top and stay there, but she's very reliant on back takes too. I don't think she's going to out-grapple Rivas on the mat. Like, I think Rivas has the much better jiu-jitsu. But Cortez kind of did an all-right job against a dangerous guard in Melissa Gatto, but I think it's a very different guard here. I don't know. On the feet, I don't think it's close. It's Rivas, but Rivas also has like a shaky chin. I don't know. I played a little bit of Rivas inside the distance, plus 350, because I think it's a good price. And I think she's going to win the fight. I think she should be a bigger favorite, but I'm not super convinced. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if Cortez steals 2 rounds on top or something like that. I think Rivas is the better, much more skilled fighter in general, but Cortez is fatter. Like, she can fat ask her way to a decision here, I think.
Yeah, I like Hebos here. I think she's a better striker, better jiu-jitsu. Cortez probably a little bit better of a wrestler, but she almost shies away from being on top of girls in positions that she doesn't. You get what I'm saying? If she's not in a position if she's in a position she doesn't want to be in, she'll like stand up instead of try to flow.
Yeah, she wants to be on the back because she's not confident in people's guard when they are active and shit. And then you go to a split with just Tinkish. That's what happens.
Yeah, That's my thoughts exactly. I like Hebos here. It seems like the line's coming in. If it gets to plus 100, I'm sending it. I mean, even in the Gato fight, like Gato took Cortez down 3 times, and I know Cortez is a better wrestler than Hebos, but if Hebos gets her down, there's a way better chance of Hebos holding her down or submitting her than the other way around. So I think the finishing upside is on the Hebos side. She's better jiu-jitsu, better striker, fought the better competition. So I'm on Hebos.
I'm willing to fight this comment like to death. I'm dying on this hill. The last one.
This one? Oh, this one?
Yeah, like I don't know if this is an American thing or like I don't know. She couldn't be looked at in a bar here. She looks like she had booted a wall. You know what I mean? Like she's the definition of myth. No disrespect, like yeah, I'm just being honest. I'm 100% serious that this girl wouldn't be like, oh, she's so hot here. Maybe it's I don't know, Central America thing. You know, I don't know.
I have no comment there. Darren Elkins.
Gombas is a taken man. She's not getting into these waters.
Exactly. Darren Elkins versus JSP. I know you and I are both on Darren Elkins big here, so why don't you tell everyone why?
Yeah, 75 unit. Vegas Dave bet on Darren Elkins. This do you think, like, honestly? I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how to start. Darren Elkins is so special. Like, I have seen some takes that I expected because if the UFC booked something like Darren Elkins versus Michael Morales at 170, there will be people that will try to convince other people that Darren Elkins can take it and then grind out Michael Morales at welterweight. Do you know what I mean? Like, doesn't matter. If it was Ngannou, they would say the same. It's Darren Elkins. He's immortal. He's absolutely done. And I see people betting the over, betting Elkins. Like, this shouldn't be sanctioned. Don't you think like Pierce should be like a 10-1 favorite? I have seen people say, "Oh, he's 4-1." How does Elkins win this fight? Pierce is like they are not similar in style, but you can say he's like an Elkins 2.0, like a new better version of Elkins. He's bigger, better frame, better wrestling, more power, good cardio. He's better at scrambles. I think she's going to beat him wherever the fight goes. Elkins is absolutely shot. He cannot take a shot anymore. I think the last fight has people confused because he fought Connelly, who I have no idea how the fuck Connelly beat Michel Pereira at 170 but and lose to Darren Elkins at 145, but we'll talk about that the other day. Yeah, I think JSP is going to fucking abuse him. I think assault and battery here. JSP inside the distance minus 110 is a steal in my opinion.
Yeah, I got nothing on this one, but I think JSP should be fine here. Elkins has just looked so shot lately. He beat Connolly, but it's kind of the perfect style matchup for him. JSP, better striker, better scrambles, more in his prime, could take a shot better. I just think he's all the advantages here. So,
I mean, I'm a big JSP guy, but he's going to eventually run into a wall, but yeah, because a civilian could put hands on him, and someday he's going to not be able to wrestle someone. But yeah, this is a mauling in my opinion. But big JSP guy, I hope he goes far. He beat my boy Americano last time. That's the only time I didn't bet JSP, and it was kind of impressive. Like he looked insane good.
I think that was probably his best performance.
Yeah, his cardio, the grappling, everything. He was like machine gunning Americano on the ground. That was insane.
Yeah. That was impressive. Next up, we've got Michael Johnson taking on Mark Diakiese. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think Diakiese is a justified big favorite? You think there's value on MJ? Tell me.
Yeah, so this got announced, and I really didn't. I don't get what's going on. Like Diakiese or whatever his name, Mark. I'm going to call him Mark. Mark has shit on someone from the UFC, right? Because they keep giving him people that can absolutely not grapple on the ground. And the guy is on all the juice and has turned into some sort of black English Alexander Karelin, and now wins 30-25 every fight with 82 takedowns. And this fight is like, do you want to be playing this price on Diakiese? Not me, because Michael Johnson first layer defense. First layer wrestling defense is all right. He swings. He has power. But once you get him down, he's horrible. He quits. Diakiese massive grappling edge. I don't know. So I kept like having a conversation with myself about what I was going to do here, and I ended doing the rational thing, which is bet Diakese by submission. She didn't even try to submit Borshchev, I think, and Hatzovic. She outgrappled them horrible, but credit where is due. Slava never quits, and Hatzovic has only been submitted by Moicano, and that's like the Pope in Jiu-Jitsu. So I think Johnson is kind of going to give it to him. Diakese is going to obviously grapple. I'm going to pick Diakese by a rear naked choke, and when he wins 30-25, I'll be happy to lose my money. I don't know. Ends by submission is a good look too, because Michael Johnson is reliable to jump guillotine. And Diakese insta-taps to guillotine for some reason. Like the 2 times it has happened, he tapped so fast. I'm not sure why. I mean, Michael Johnson is a guy that got into a fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov and thought it was a great idea to jump guillotine. So I don't see no reason to not jump guillotine here.
Yeah, I think this is a great point. He's fought 2 worst defensive wrestler in the UFC. Magic, you made a great point. Michael Johnson's first layer of takedown defense is actually pretty good. I do think Johnson's the better boxer. I expect Diakese to eventually get some takedowns here, but I don't think this is going to be some like sick wrestling performance. I think he might mix a couple in. I think this fight probably plays out a little bit closer than the line. I do favor Diakese for sure. I'm not sure if I'll pull the trigger on Johnson or not because he that's funny as hell. Yeah, he Johnson's just, I don't know, at this point in his career, I don't think he's very trustworthy. I think he's looked not that great in his last few. But if you put a gun to my head, I would probably take him at dog money. But the pick is I just forgot his name.
I think Diakese is going to look noticeably bigger than him. Like I think he's a much bigger guy. So I think eventually the takedown happens, and I don't think Johnson's getting up. Or if he gets up, it's going to be a mat return. You know, Diakese is becoming a good grappler. Like he wins fights.
Yeah, I was on Diakese dog money against Borshchev, which was one of my favorite bets of the year.
I was too.
Good job. Clay Guida, Scott Holtzman. This is a battle of 2 fighters that are probably past their prime. I tend to think Scott Holtzman gets it done. His last 2 fights were against really good fighters. Beneil Dariush, obviously probably next in line for a title shot after Volkanovski. And then Gamrot, obviously one of the better grapplers in the division. I think this is a good matchup for Holtzman. He's a very good defensive grappler. On the feet, if he looks anything close to what his normal self is, I think he's going to light Guida up. So I'm on Holtzman here. I can't be super confident in it because, again, he's 39. He's coming off a 1.5-year layoff. I do think he should get this one done, though. Are you on hot sauce, or do you think the Carpenter's got a shot?
I also think Holtzman probably wins this title eliminator. Yeah. Guida is very done too. Like I think the Leonardo Santos fight gave him a little bit more credit within fans than within the UFC. You know what I mean? Leonardo Santos is a retired fighter. That was insane. Guida gets hurt a lot lately. Like he didn't used to get hurt. And he's extremely easy to submit for some reason. He should be in prison for what he did against Puelles. I'm going to double down on that. And now that we have seen Puelles versus Hooker again, that was insanity. Like he rolled into the submission from guard. Like he got knee-barred from guard and rolled into the submission. I think Holtzman, like he was defending very, very good the wrestling against Darius, and that's a top tier grappler wrestler. I think he can keep the fight up, hurt with and finish him. I like Holtzman inside the distance a lot, plus 240 or similar. Yeah. Who beats Darius, really? I mean, he was. I bet him against Darius, I think, and I was like, oh great, Darius cannot get his back, and then Darius became fucking Jackie Chan and killed him with a spinning something. I was like, what the fuck? Darius cannot lose a fight since Alex the Great blessed him with the touch of God. Hasn't lost since, right?
Nope.
See, Makhachev is next.
That's crazy.
And then a rematch for the title.
Let me see. Next up, Angela Hill taking on Emily Ducote. Emily Ducote won her first fight in the UFC over the summer against Jessica Penne. Do you think she gets number 2 here, or do you like Hill?
I'm maturing as a bettor, and I was going to bet Ducote inside small and late because she's undoubtedly going to fucking lit up Angela Hill and then not stop her with Angela Hill on one leg or some shit like that. So I passed. I have nothing on the fight. But if someone is telling me they are making a big bet on Ducote moneyline, I can get it. I just don't like that she really doesn't separate himself volume wise. And Angela Hill's stuff doesn't really get stopped and she keeps coming. So yeah. Hope this is a split that Hill loses and gets cut. Was a big letdown for me personally that Godinez did that and allowed her to be in the UFC still, but I hope she loses this one, maybe another one, and then big celebration when she gets finally cut. I'll probably do a money giveaway on Twitter when she gets cut.
I like Hill in this fight. I think I mean, if you take a look back at Ducat's first UFC fight against Jessica Penne, she chewed her lead leg up. If you look a little closer at the stats, take a look at the head strikes, they were about even. And Angela Hill is a much better striker than Jessica Penne is. She's younger, closer to her prime. Angela Hill's fought a much better level of competition. I think this fight likely plays out in the feet, where I just think it's going to be super close. I actually favor Hill. I think she's a little bit better of a striker, and I think Ducat's going to have to prove it to me. I bet Hill at plus 120. I think she should be like minus 122 and something like that.
Like, Ducote is a better grappler here. Just saying. Hill is not a good grappler. I'm not saying she's going to grapple, but if it happens, Ducote is better. She has some submissions, and I think she was a little bit hesitant of going ham on Penne because Penne just was blatantly waiting for a double leg to save her life, but that's not Hill. So maybe different. If Ducote stops her in round 3, I'm going to not jump, but probably throw my laptop through the window. But yeah, I'll happily pass here. But I wanted to bet Ducote round 3.
Even Godinez only went 1 for 3 on takedowns versus Hill, and I was on Jandiroba versus Hill, but Jandiroba is like a really good grappler. I think it's just going to be a pretty close striking fight, but I do favor Hill. She's proven more to me. That's just the kind of spot I like to bet. Jack Hermanson. Oh, sorry, I skipped one. Nico Price, Phil Rowe. I'll start this one. I think we differ here again, too. I bet Price really early here, minus 104. I think the current price is about right. I have him like 55, 60%. I'm not impressed with Phil Rowe. I get it. The price is coming off of an injury, but I do think he's just a little bit better everywhere. And at dog money, minus 104, I was willing to take the shot. I think Price kind of fights a little bit reckless at times, but I like him in a reckless fight versus Rowe. I think he's going to pressure Rowe. He's not going to let him stand at distance. And I think he's going to make this one ugly. I think he has takedown upside here. Yeah, I'm picking Price. I know you're probably not, so why don't you give the other side?
I don't know if you have seen his footage lately.
Mm-mm.
He got a knee, like he got knee surgery. Nico Price.
Yeah. Yep.
Have you seen hit the pads?
No.
Bro, he looks like my grandpa. I don't know. My grandpa can't look like that. You may want to cash this out. Like, I'm serious. I bet Rowe by knockout. I was debating and I was like, holy fuck, Rowe by knockout.
I think the under is not bad either.
Price is super hittable. Rowe is a guy that he has very good jiu-jitsu. I mean, every time he fights, I say it, but they made this guy grapple Gordon Ryan in jiu-jitsu, which I find fucking hilarious.
That's insane.
Yeah, could have gone either way. Gordon Ryan won in the end. But, I mean, if Price could grapple proactively and stay on top, yeah, I get it, but his main grappling strategy is accidentally falling on top of people. And I think Rowe can probably stay upright here. And on the feet, I kind of favor Phil Rowe big time now. Like, I feel Price is on the way out.
Could be.
Rowe by knockout plus 380. He will undoubtedly roll a submission now finally, just to fuck me up, but at that price, I have to take it. I think it's going to lit up Nico. He's younger, faster, the Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince. Fair enough. We'll see. Roman Dolidze taking on Jack Hermanson. Dolidze coming in on short notice. Do you think he has much of a chance here, or do you think that Hermanson's going to get it done?
I think Dolidze needs to play the lottery because he's a fraud and he keeps winning. Like, really, he's not really good or anything, but I bet him last time. You remember? I bet him against Phil Hoss, but I would bet on Henry Cejudo against Phil Hoss. Phil Hoss is the biggest fraud in MMA. No disrespect, but he just, like, you do like this, pop, and he dies. And he was a little bit unlucky there because his knee kind of exploded in a very awkward leg lock. I watched it the other day. I didn't watch it live. Okay, congratulations, Dolice. I lost money on Daukos against Dolice. Okay, congratulations again, I guess. He got it. It's a fight. Whatever can happen, all these topics. But I don't think that those are very repeatable outcomes. Hermansson, better grappler, better striker, better chin, way better cardio. Dolice gasses horribly. He cannot grapple fuck Hermansson. I think this almost by default, unless Hermansson doesn't want to, this by default turns into Hermansson on top of him, fucking him up, or I don't know. I think Hermansson is going to destroy him on the ground. So yeah. Bet Hermansson props, whatever you feel like betting.
Yeah, I personally feel like Hermansson minus 200 is about right here. Maybe a tiny bit wider, but not enough for me to bet it. I agree. Better cardio, probably a little bit better put together. And on short notice, it is a big ask. But I don't know. Something about Hermansson's. I bet Hermansson in his last fight pretty big, but I think overall there's going to be a good time to get him soon. I just don't think it's here. So
Jack Hermansson against who? Like maybe with Tucker, but that would be like minus 500.
Yeah, I mean, even some of these up and coming guys, like I don't know. I think Hermansson is the kind of guy that'll beat the bad fighters. I shouldn't say bad. I think when he for example, I think Brunson would have beat him. Like I know we talked about that, but like
I told you I was going to bet Hermansson.
Yeah, I mean maybe we'll see it someday, but that's the type of fight that I would like to fade Hermansson in. But
Hermansson is tough. Like it takes a good fighter to beat him. Like Vettori was a awkward style matchup for him. He competed but lost clearly. But that was prime Royce Rage Vettori. Not everyone is that durable or that good of a defensive wrestler.
Strickland, Cannonier.
Cannonier beat him already. I bet that. I mean, he won on a scorecard against Strickland. That was a split.
That's insane.
That was insane, bro.
Hermansson versus Shavkat. They're not even the same height. Let's see. Eric Andrews versus Kyle Dawkins. I don't have much of an opinion here. Dawkins minus 200 seems right. I really don't have anything to add. I think it likely goes to decision, but this is, from a betting perspective, this is my least intriguing fight. Do you have anything on this, or do you agree with that?
This guy said Hermansson doesn't have good wins, bro. I mean, I don't know what we are calling good wins, but I have to disagree. Like he beat Gastelum, he beat Jacare, he beat decent people. He beat Shabasian. Okay, he's not the greatest fighter ever, but he beat Chris Curtis, who everyone thought was Muhammad Ali. He beat GM3. I mean, not bad. Jacare was a good win, bro. Yeah, definitely. And Gastelum was Gastelum, but Gastelum was almost killed Adesanya for a brief moment. Yeah, which fight is this one? Eric Anders, right?
Mm-hmm.
You bet Anders?
No, I have nothing there.
Thank God. I think Daukaus is the better fighter pretty much everywhere. Maybe Anders has a pure physicality power edge here. Not maybe, but probably. But he's slow as fuck. His pace kind of sucks. I'm not entirely sure if Daukaus gets takedowns here. I think yes, but he will have to work for them. I played Daukaus by submission because this is like my like my religion. If you give me Daukaus by submission over plus 200, is a must bet. The guy has 900 submissions and 0 knockouts, always goes for it. Anders is not a good jiu-jitsu player. Daukaus by submission plus 300 is all right. Daukaus is a good fighter. He got knocked out once, and Antonio is hating on poor Daukaus. Come on, Antonio, chill. He's a good fighter. He submitted Kevin Holland like easily, and they screwed him.
That was crazy. No, that doesn't count.
Yeah, they robbed my money. More money, more problems. I want my money. Yeah, that's solid. That's like solid handicapping. Daukaus got his face broken. I like the over.
I think we're on the same side of this next one. Tai Tuivasa taking on Sergey Pavlovich. I like Tai as an underdog here. Minus 150-ish, I was willing to pass. I'm like, all right, Pavlovich is a little bit better technically. Tuivasa just kind of likes to brawl. But then this price kind of got blown out. And I feel like at this point, I have to take a shot on Tai. He's fought the better competition. He's leg kick upside. Pavlovich really just finished bums in the first round. Doesn't really check leg kicks. Ty fought the better competition. He could knock anyone out. I just think this price should be closer. I don't know how you could really get past 60% from Pavlovich based on what we've seen here. Never really grappled or tried to grapple, and that's a great comment. You guys have been on fire today. But yeah, I think Ty is the side. I think Pavlovich wins at like a 55% clip, maybe 60.
The COVID-19 tweeting. Yeah, I agree.
Could happen, I guess, but like minus. Sorry, I just want to real quick. Like it could happen. Yeah, he might get KO'd, but like minus 230, like you're gonna play that when he's knocked people out in the first round. Really, for the most part, that aren't that good. Like I said, it could happen. We're playing numbers here.
I was kind of surprised about the line, and I was surprised about the line movement because I kept Tuivasa as the favorite. So yeah, not much more to say. Really, I don't. Pavlovich looks fast and powerful early. He doesn't have grappling upside, which is kind of pivotal against Tuivasa if you are not a very good striker. Tuivasa has all the leg kick upside. He kicks fucking hard, and Pavlovich doesn't look like a guy that will check or anything. He looked like a tortoise on the ground against Alistair Overeem.
Yeah.
He got absolutely nothing. He looked like a civilian, just laying, like waiting to be killed. I think this plays out on the feet, and Tuivasa has a lot of dog in him. He's fucking durable, throws hard, throws a lot. Like the Cyril Gunn fight was a very good look for him, in my opinion. I mean, Gunn beat the actual dog shit out of him, okay, but he almost won for a brief moment, and he lasted like 3 or 4 rounds, right?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
It was an honest fight. Like it
Well,
was a
yeah,
great,
it was,
it was a great brawl. Like the streets won't forget Ty. That was a great fight. Yeah, I like Tuivasa. Yeah, Tuivasa is not winning by submission.
It was the end of the third round.
End of the third. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The kicks are big here, I think. And I feel like Pavlovich has a lot more quit in him than Tuivasa, and he doesn't have good wins outside of Derek Lewis. And Lewis is a good fighter, but he's a quitter. I don't care what anyone thinks of this, but he's a quitter. If you show Derek Lewis the door, he takes it.
That was an early stoppage too. I hate to be that guy, but like, come on.
What?
The Pavlovich versus Lewis fight, I felt like that was a really early stoppage.
Yeah, it was early, but I mean, if you see the Tuivasa versus Lewis fight, I tweeted it after the fight. I'm not saying he took a dive or anything, but he was hurt and he didn't want anymore, so he just fell and pretended to be out. He wasn't out or anything.
I had the over, but I missed the over in that fight.
He just decided he had enough. That's my opinion. People may have other opinion. We are adults, so I respect your wrong opinions, but that's mine.
Yeah, so you're on Tuivasa here as well.
Yeah, I bet him plus 190. I was going to bet plus 195, and it moved before my eyes to plus 190. But I mean, I think he should be the favorite. But heavyweights, you cannot really go huge. It's heavyweights.
Yeah. Oh boy, Matt Schnell taking on Matthias Nikolai. I think Nikolai deserved big favorite here. He probably put Schnell out. I don't have a hot take or anything. Just big favorite, justified. Could finish, could win by decision. I feel like he's just better everywhere, and I feel like Schnell's durability, even though he came back in his last fight, like he still got put on skates like he does often. He just finds a way to get finished. I tend to think Nikolai puts him away here. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, this was a massive letdown for me. Like the line is probably accurate. Nicola was going to let him up. Snell goes for it. I was like, if Snell, or not Snell, if Nicolao for some reason is inside the distance plus 200 here, I'll make a huge bet on. The bookies were wise to this one. It's very goodly line, very well lined. The fight, like Nicolao is at the distance plus 120, doesn't go minus 120. I mean, I played doesn't go minus 120 big in a parlay because, I mean, numbers. It doesn't make sense to make Nicolao today if you, inside the distance if you can get that price on doesn't go. And also, I was like, maybe they sleep and make submission a huge number because he's inevitably going to rock Snell bad and I'm going to go for a Japanese necktie or something. And it's very closely lined. This may be the best lines of the year for the bookies. So shout out to them. They got this one right, in my opinion. I have doesn't go big. I think Nicolao stops him. Snell, I mean, yeah, he's good, but he's fucking Amir Khan. I know you don't watch boxing, right? Do you know who Amir Khan is?
Yeah, but I don't know a lot about him.
Amir Khan was
That's
like
pretty good.
amazing, but if I punch him, he will die. Yeah, that's the truth. Like he was insane. He got a silver medal at 18 in the Olympics.
Wow.
But yeah, I think Nicolau Stoppage.
RDA versus Brian Barberina. Finally, RDA is getting an easy fight, or at least on paper. That guy's got the craziest strength of schedule, and it seems like he's getting a layup here. I laid minus 300 early in the week. He's up to minus 600 now. I think
so fraudulent.
Yeah, I think he's going to steamroll. I think he's going to steamroll Barberina. I think he dominates him on the ground. I think he's a better striker. I'm actually surprised that the under is plus 160. I feel like RDA probably finishes him. So my pick's RDA. I'm real confident in him. What about you?
Yeah, you just gave me an idea that I have not realized. I played RDA inside the distance and a little bit by submission. This is an obvious bet. Like a civilian could take down Barberina. He made Matt Brown, who was like 40 when they fought, he made him look like Jordan Burroughs. That was insane. Like he would take him down just by looking at him. It was ridiculous. And then he loses to Jason Witt. How the fuck you lose to Jason Witt? Not only lose, but almost get knocked out because he got hurt bad by Jason Witt. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the Vanilla Gorilla, but yeah, big no. And he beat Robbie Lawler. Okay, Lawler was winning. I bet him. I think he was winning quite clearly. Yeah, he knocked him out, whatever. Barberina is on the way out, and there are levels to this. Dos Anjos can grapple like easily here. I mean, we have seen him before at welterweight. I mean, I know that Dos Anjos, he's one of these veterans that he just had a very, very good fight with a very, very big, very good lightweight in physique. That was a close fight going into 5.
It was a good fight.
He was starting to grind him out.
As an honest fight, as you would say.
Yeah, I mean, he's old, but he's still, if not elite, very good. And Barberina is fucking Barberina. You know what I mean? Like, we got a guy that we have seen. I know it was some years ago, but he had a very, very, not close, but very, I mean, maybe close for some people, but very competitive fight with prime Colby Covington at welterweight, and now he's facing Brian Barberina.
I don't know about close.
I had Colby winning clearly, but Dos Anjos won like
I'm joking.
Maybe 2 rounds.
Yeah, I thought it was 48-47.
I think I gave Colby 4 rounds, actually.
Really?
Yeah, and I bet Dos Anjos.
You recognize greatness.
We have different definitions of greatness. Greatness is fighting next week, bro. I think Dos Anjos is going to rock him.
Maybe we'll see some greatness in the main event. Kevin Holland versus Stephen Thompson. This line has gotten blown out for Kevin Holland. Do you agree with that line movement, or will you be on Wonderboy here?
I think Wonderboy is going to get bonked bad and retired in this fight. But I'm not. I cannot trust Kevin Holland to do anything because he's absolutely stupid. The dude is a moron. You don't know what are you getting here. He probably has a grappling path because he's way bigger and he's not a good wrestler, but from body lock positions, whatever, he can take him down and choke him out pretty easily, I feel. Because Wonderboy's grappling is a mess. He made Belal look like a Gordon Ryan.
People have the best rationales. So I don't know if it was the same person said it earlier too.
Yeah. I think Holland by submission is very wide. Like Wonderboy doesn't really get knocked out outside of Anthony Pettis landing the luckiest shot in the history of fighting. And he gets badly hurt a lot of times, but not choked. I was like losing my mind when Belal didn't choke him out. Like it was there so open. It looks so easy. I don't know. I think Holland by submission is good value. Nothing. Holland inside the distance plus 137. Okay. It's not horrible, I guess. I think he's going to hurt him and finish him. I don't think he's going to grapple proactively. If you are going to bet Wonderboy, why take his line when Wonderboy by decision is plus 400? Holland is stupid durable, and Wonderboy is not submitting Holland.
Can I just point something out here? So if it hits 60% of the time, Kevin Holland is currently minus 175.
I knew this was coming.
Which is 63.6% implied. I just want to point that out. So
yeah, but what if this is the one that you get right?
But yeah, I just, again, I'm not trying to be like a prick or anything. Just be careful with your reasoning for betting and pay attention to numbers. But yeah, so you're on Holland by submission here.
Yeah, I took that, but I'm rooting for Wonderboy to like kick his head into the second row. I cannot stand Holland. I really dislike him. I think he's fake.
Yeah, so I'm picking Holland to win. I just don't think Stephen Thompson has it anymore. But to your point, Holland's very hard to trust as a favorite. This is a fight, in my opinion, which probably plays out in a stand-up for the most part. I mean, if anyone's going to get a takedown, it's Holland, but he doesn't really look for takedowns. He could get a body lock if he was smart. I kind of just think this is a fight that plays out at range. I think Holland probably gets his hand raised at the end of the day. I mean, Thompson's getting up there in age. He has a style that if you're a pretty good striker, it's hard for him to blow you out of the water. At this point in his career, I mean, if it was 3-4 years ago, maybe like the Luque fight was impressive, the Neal fight was impressive, but I just think he's looked off ever
Some
since.
years ago, this looks different, in my opinion, the striking. But Holland is a very tall, very long guy, and Wonderboy has always been a guy that if you are fast enough and big enough, you can find him down the pipe. And this is, you know what I mean? Like Bootley did in their fights. Holland is super fast down the pipe with the right, no setup, no anything, and it's going to hurt him bad at some point. But yeah, Wonderboy by decision, much better price than his money line, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I would be surprised if he stopped Holland.
I think a Wonderboy win is most likely a decision here.
Yeah, I mean, he's not stopping Holland. Look at who has stopped Holland. He took a fucking molly against Thiago Santos at middleweight. I mean, only Chimaev, and it was a choke. Like there is no I don't want to get stopped there. He has to tap or nap. Nobody else, right?
Yeah.
This guy has the worst takes. Yeah, he's so real. He took a lot of money for a fight he knew he was losing on one day notice. What a gangster. I would have taken Chimaev for that money and let him choke me out too. That's what he did. He did what? Two Granby rolls? Come on.
It's a tough fight. If I were Holland, I probably wouldn't have done it, honestly.
But you're a pussy.
Maybe, but you get a win. You get a
I
win.
would have got in there and fucking put it on Chimaev.
Think about it though. If
like
Holland,
Gilbert, you know Gilbert? Like Gilbert.
You go in there and beat someone like Holland was favored to do, and then you could even fake call out Chimaev. You could call him out and not even fight him, but that just builds the hype, builds your brand a little bit more. That's what I would do. I would have beat. Who was he supposed to fight?
Holland was fighting Jing Liang, right?
Jing Liang, yeah. Like Holland probably beats Jing Liang. It's not an easy fight, but he was favored. Or D-Rod.
Yeah, D-Rod, and Jing Liang was fighting who?
Neil Magny? No.
I don't know. Someone got without a fight there, right? And they just exchanged the fight. I'm not sure.
Anyway, yeah.
I remember now. Like Jing Liang was fighting Tony Ferguson.
Yes, that's right.
And Kansas was fighting Diaz, and they exchanged opponents.
Yeah.
That would have been so funny. Chimaev versus Diaz. I was so hyped for that, bro.
that would be like after seeing those two fights, it's even crazier to think like how that would have went.
Bro, I was telling people were saying, "Oh, Diaz round 5, he works him out."
He would die.
People were like, "Why are you so excited for this? Kamsat is going to kill him because I hate Diaz. I want to see it."
I had the under 1.5 in the Diaz Chimaev fight at like plus 130. I think that was like for sure gonna hit. Like how does
that was going to be the biggest mulling in UFC history.
Yeah.
Like the Diaz versus Ferguson fight was one of the saddest fights I have ever seen.
That was crazy.
People are going to come at me for this, but Tony fucking had him with the leg kicks. I don't know why he stopped. Like he had him. He was scared and he started walking around pretending he was like doing stupid shit, you know, when the referee was saying fight, and he was like, no, I'm not fighting. He's the stupidest. I don't know why people like him, bro. We need to rebook that. Chimaev versus Diaz, 185.
What do you got for your Lambo parlay this week?
I played some before. Watch out for my Lambos. I'm on fire. I'm going to go. Let me open this account.
I'll go first. I've got Stella Nunes by knockout plus 1,100, Holtzman by knockout plus 340.
Aren't you ashamed to lose the degen parlay on the first leg?
But I'll go in reverse order. That's the highest leg. So I got RDA submission, Tuivasa KO1, Holtzman KO, and Nunes KO. 90 to win 114,000.
Do you know like the last one we did here? I did
I
the
think
last one I did here.
Just real quick, I think you were right that this guy has the worst stakes.
I think it's someone we blocked from the channel with a burner, probably.
No, I recognize that name.
Yeah, it's like a, how do you say in the pubs? The people that keep coming.
A repeat?
No, there is a word like not a usual, but another word.
A regular.
Yeah, he's a regular on the pod. I played. Do you know that last UFC event we didn't win the parlay here on the pod because of the Zumagulov decision?
Really?
Yeah. Like it was 5 legs, one got voided. I don't know why. I think the fight the Spivak leg out, push, and the other 4 legs all hit step to Magulov by decision. And it would have been 11,000. Incredible. That was such a robbery.
I have zero comment or interest in talking on this.
Who is Adam Trout?
I don't even know.
I think that's Austin Trout, the ex-world champion boxer.
Oh, great.
Adam Trout? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Austin Trout beat Miguel Cotto. He's going to box Diego Sanchez?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm going to go Kevin Holland inside the distance, Herbanson inside the distance, Mateus Nicolau inside the distance, Tuivasa moneyline, and Kyle Daukaus moneyline. 200 to win 20,000.
Okay. Solid.
Can this guy please confirm if this is Austin Trout? If there are lines for that, I don't know. I'll take minus 500. Bro, this is insane. He's a big guy too, Austin Trout. That cannot be real. Is he boxing Diego Sanchez?
Oh, I didn't know that. I wrestled him twice.
Is this his manager?
I wrestled him twice in high school.
Anthony Casar?
Mm-hmm.
Who won?
He did.
Twice?
Mm-hmm.
Bro. I thought you would say you won or something.
Nah, second
I was
one,
like setting it up.
The first one, it was back-to-back weeks. We wrestled in districts and then again at regions. In districts, he pinned me. In regions, he beat me by a point. So it was a lot closer the second time. But yeah, he was really good.
He beat Gable Stevenson?
Yeah.
How fat were you on college, bro? To be wrestling these people.
We were 170, and then that was his junior year, my sophomore year, and then his senior year he moved up to 195, and then in college he went all the way up to heavyweight.
There are some good comments here. We are making a community of degenerates that actually.
Yeah, this is a good crew for sure. I was thinking about that actually the other day. It's like I feel like this is different because we have like a community here rather than us just
of bad persons.
Yeah, of mad persons for sure.
Yeah, this is a great fight. I know, and I thought, full disclosure, I told Andrew about this, and he was like, "I wouldn't watch that even if you paid me." Roberto Soldic versus a killer. There is a lot of action going on both ways. Like the line keeps moving. It's a good fight.
Why is this guy so insistent on us fight? We get asked this every once in a while. We're never going.
Andrew has a bad shoulder. He is not fighting.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, we're never fighting, so it doesn't matter. I heard that is not correct.
That was after you beat him the first time, right?
What's that?
After you beat him the first time, Bonical, he never wanted to wrestle again.
No, we never wrestled, but he would win for sure. Any thoughts on the PFL fights last week?
What do you want me to think? It was fucking amazing. Yeah. I couldn't lose a bet. If Aspenlath had finished, I would have made 6 figures on the card.
Wait,
but I missed Aspenlath by finish.
Who?
She had Aspenlath.
Oh,
she won like a sketchy decision. I think she won. She won round 1 and 3 for me, but some people had both winning the last 2. Okay, whatever. Her money line wasn't a great bet, but round 1 she got on top and she got on the back on the mount. If she had finished, 6-figure night. But we settled for like 70K.
Jesus Christ.
That was
Guys,
ridiculous.
I wouldn't call this a big line movement. It's literally a bet online openers. Like you could move. I could move that line right now if I wanted
It's
to.
very possible that this opens different at another place.
Yeah,
It happens all the time.
it's literally only available in the U.S. at that book. So 2 big bets, or not even big bets, 2 $500 bets could swing that the completely other way. But yeah, we'll touch on that one a little bit next week. What else you got for us? Anticipation levels high.
It's the best card ever. Glover is out, which is a big letdown for me personally, but because I wanted that one back. Not only the fight, I wanted to watch the fight. I wanted the win back for Glover. And I wanted my fucking money back. That
I
one
mean,
hurt.
dude, I didn't bet him the first time, but this time I was 100% going to. Like, how do you
No,
watch
that's insane.
that
Like
play out?
watching the last fight, I remember people were betting Jiri minus 200 and he won, and people were like, "Oh, it's easy dub, never in doubt, Jiri Prochaska." Bro, what fight have you watched? Like Glover could finish him 50 times. That was the most stupid fight I have ever seen. Glover
Yeah.
was up on the cards. Like I don't get it. I thought the rematch, because he got finished, okay, but I thought the line was going to be like evens, and Glover was plus 180.
That's probably what it should be.
It should be Glover minus 3 million.
That's tough.
Yeah, I had Tyler that night for 4 or 5 units. That was fun stuff. That was a great night overall. I bought an elephant, and now I never go anywhere without my elephant.
Yeah, good take. Good take. We got a good take before we
So
signed off.
let's go, Tony.
All right. We will be back same time, same place next week for the pay-per-view card. Like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. And yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Magic, any final words for the audience?
I hope this card is great. I like the card, biggest late. I hope it's great because I'm on a very good streak. So I hope we keep the money rolling. Andrew is on a good streak too. It's noticeable how much sharper he has become since we have been doing this podcast.
That's
So,
very
yeah.
nice.
Maybe for the pay-per-view we have to invite someone. I don't know. Maybe I tell OAM. I was thinking,
That'd be
but
cool.
I don't know. Maybe he's too busy like being rich.
Maybe. It'd be 3 millionaires.
Maybe after all the JSP parlays hit.
Yeah, maybe. But all right. Thanks, guys. See you next week. Peace.